keep an eye out for her, Karen?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So-
keep an eye out.
Okay.
So I'm calling the meeting to order. And we'll start with the application 11 Church Street. So, Jonathan, you want to tell us what you're proposing?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so what I'm proposing is to extend the existing dormer on the second floor. This just increases the living space on that part of the house, and it just goes over the existing extension that's on the back of the property already.
Okay. I took a look at your drawings before, and I see what you're proposing. I think that what you have submitted is not really sufficient. And realistically, I would suggest that perhaps you may want to, talk to a contractor or an architect. And I'll point out the problems I see. The first thing is the drawing that you submitted is incredibly light. I have a hard time making out what's new and what's existing. And I understand, from looking at the photographs, I can sort of figure out what you're proposing. But unfortunately, you haven't really drawn very much of the additional element. In other words, I would assume that there are going to be some windows. And so we would need to see those and how they're configured, what kind of siding, that's not drawn. The slope is awfully low for your proposed addition, which makes it not that probably wouldn't be using shingles, so that would be an issue. You'd have to sort of explain what kind of roofing you would need. So there are things like that. Just and am I correct that this is the only image that we have aside from the photographs and the catalog cuts?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so I think it maybe came through in the scan of the image. It's the section in blue at the top. There are two windows shown as well, but they're very faint, unfortunately. I think it's when I give the physical copies, it'll be more obvious. I think it's just that scanning that image in caused it to be a bit faint.
Okay, I mean, even blown up, I don't see the.
You can just about,
Yeah.
you can just about make them out, but it does look like it was scanned, and the like you said, Johnny, it's just light in the scanning. So yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of the roofing material, there's currently a sheet roofing on the current edition, which is at a similar angle rather than shingles. So that was why for the non-pitched roofing, I think it's going to be sheet material just to match the existing, as you can see in this slide. But for the pitched, we're going to use the shingles to match the existing materials that are on the pitched roofing.
This is a view of the existing roof.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the roof of the new dormer will be a poured material like this?
Yeah, so similar to the roof of the existing dormer.
Oh, I see. It is there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So then where would you be using the architectural shingles?
That's where the dormer joins to the current pitched roof. So you can see here that's like they've used two different types of shingles there. You can see like there's a bit of a line between when they did it originally. And it's our plan to replace those to have a consistent shingle up there where the dormer joins the pitched roof.
Okay. These are the views from the side, Al. I don't know if you saw these.
Yeah, I saw those. And but the thing is, for example, are you going to have any windows in the rear facade elevation?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, so on the floor plan on the last slide 8, there are going to be windows facing outward onto the backyard and onto either side of the property.
But this says first floor.
Oh, sorry, that's an English thing. It's ground then first, so it's, I guess, second floor. Sorry, that's yeah.
Oh, okay.
I knew that.
I didn't. But the thing is that we do need to see the elevation of how are the windows configured? What does it look like from the back?
Is the rear facade visible at all from anywhere?
No, but you've got windows on the sides. Those are going to be visible.
Yes.
Well, this side is the quite tight to the brick building.
Mm-hmm.
This side is the more visible side that you can see because of the driveway, and that's the side that's drawn. This is the front of the building. This is the back of the building. So this is the side that's drawn on the elevation that was submitted. The rear is not visible currently anywhere from Church Street that I could see when I did a little walk around. But I'm sorry, from Garden Street. But I don't know if the increased bulking of the, pushing that back is going to make it more visible or not. But it was kind of, I think a lot of it is blocked by the depth of the brick building next to it.
Yeah, it's obscured. I've walked around there and I can't really make out much. In terms of the window style, I'm going to be matching the front. So the idea is to just match the character of the existing windows on the front side.
Do we have a picture of the front of the house? I don't think there is, right? It is visible on Google Street View, but
there's these two kind of pictures from the side.
yeah. So just like 1/1 double hung windows, no divisions in the panes. Is that what's there currently?
Currently, there is the divisions in the panes. Let's have a look. It's a 6/6 pattern.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you go on Zillow, there's if you could type that in, that's it. It's up there, but I don't have a picture of the front.
I should also say that Jonathan's not at his house right now, so it's not, so he's meeting us extra remotely.
I guess the question is, I feel a little insecure about the amount of information that we have. That there isn't sufficient documentation. I think on the advantage or the pro side for the applicant, it's not exactly a very visible addition, but still it would be nice to be able to to have a complete application that we pass on to whoever the building inspector is going to be.
So with that being the case, Al, you would like to see an elevation of the rear as well as the south side of the building, or just the rear, or just the south side?
Yeah, I'm willing to pass on the rear elevation if everybody's in agreement that it's not really going to be very visible at all. But at least on the side and the windows, the windows that are going to be installed are going to match the windows in these dormers, the 6/6?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And are those existing windows, what are the materials that they're made of?
They're wood.
Are the muntins wood also?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and the question that after that is, I would assume that the windows that you're going to install are double glazed?
Yeah, that's the plan, yes.
So then, am I correct that the windows are going to have a simulated divided light, which is a piece of wood between the two panes of glass.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so, but I mean, you know, it would be nice to have that documented.
The 400 series Anderson are vinyl clad on the outside, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, are the existing windows vinyl clad?
Not on the front of the house, but they are at the rear.
And the sides.
Yeah, the sides as well. Yeah. And just for the windows on this side, on the shown on the left side of this picture, the plan is to have them identical to as the plan shown on the other side.
Oh, so the images, so you're saying that
So that is
these
going to
two
be
windows on the reverse side will be in the same position,
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
and they'll be the same material to match the other new windows on elsewhere on the addition.
Yeah, that's the plan really, is like the addition was made in the 70s separate to the original house. We just want to try and match those existing windows and just make sure everything blends in really. That's just trying to match the character is the plan.
So the materials will match the windows on the addition because they'll be vinyl clad wood, but
Yeah.
the grill pattern will match the main volume of the house because they'll be 6/6. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
My opinion on simulated divided light is if it's applied on the exterior surface, I think it is passable. If it's sandwiched between the insulated glass, I think it's way worse than just having no divisions at all.
Yeah.
1/1 would be way more preferable in my opinion than trying to fake it with the. Go ahead, Ariel.
Well, the simulated divided light has the muntins both on the inside and the outside with you know, a piece of I would assume
spacer
it's
bars?
wood.
Yeah, that's
I
correct.
believe so. I'm looking right now.
When you look at the 400 series, it doesn't really specify, from what I could tell.
Yeah, that's it's you can customize that. So that's what I did. If you click, I think the link might have the custom one in there, but if not, that's something you specify when you order the window.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would prefer that the materials are resubmitted with a little bit more information. I mean, is there any reason why we couldn't get a darker version of this so we can see where the windows are?
No, the physical copies that you can see where I've drawn this in. It's just this scan has just made it very light.
Well, did you draw it in blue?
Yes. Just to show it's different. So that's you can see the blue highlighted section here shows the addition. Yeah.
Well, I can see the edge of the roof and the back facade. I think it's the back facade. It's kind of hard to tell because I know there's a chimney there somewhere. That
It might be more helpful to just have it even in Photoshop or preview. There's tools you can just kind of erase from the blue that's very light and then draw it in black. So then you can kind of just see one page has the current and then the next page has the proposed. It might be a little bit clearer, so you could switch back and forth, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that that chimney that you're right next to, if you go to the photograph.
The second chimney back here.
Yeah.
That needs to be 2 foot above the roof line.
So it says in the drawings that chimney is not functional, so it'll either be removed or it will be capped.
Okay, I didn't see that note.
Yeah.
I think in the event that it is removed, you're going to have a plan for patching the siding back here on the addition and also dealing with the masonry at the bottom, because it will be, it will be visible as well.
Yeah, that's
Um,
correct. Yeah.
If it's capped, I don't know, Al, what your feelings are about having a chimney that doesn't exceed the roof line, even if it's non-functional. Is that something
Well,
that would have to be kind of,
I will
Maybe.
stay, I will stay away from that and leave that up to the building inspector, because is it non-functional because you're just not using it, or is it non-functional because it's blocked up, or what?
Currently, it's just not in use, but the plan will be to either remove or cap that so it's unable to be used at all.
All right, well, because I think ultimately that's going to be up to the building inspector and how essentially it is made non-functional. Because realistically, the reason that it needs to be a certain height above is because you have hot gases, which could, if the roof material was nearby, it could start a fire. So that's the whole point of it.
for the
Okay.
purposes of this application, could it just be added as a note that if it were to be removed, then the siding and masonry would be patched in kind? The existing addition has the same hardy board siding that's being proposed for this upper portion.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So I think then for the purpose of the COA, if it can just be documented that if the chimney is removed, then the siding will be patched in material to match, and the masonry will be patched and painted as necessary.
Yeah.
The one thing that we don't, well, there's lots of things we don't allow. A thing that we don't allow is we don't allow chimneys to be wrapped in siding. So we can't, so it either has to remain masonry and just be dead, or it needs to be removed and then the wall patched. But
Yeah.
we don't allow for the chimneys to be wrapped in siding material, functional or otherwise.
And do you have any inclination on what you're going to do there? Either cap it or remove it?
Could you show me the picture of the chimney? Just got that one.
This one or the one from
yeah,
the roof?
from the existing. Yeah, the next one down. Yeah. So you can see here, like
It's already been extended.
they've already extended it once using
Right.
block when they did this.
We'll either extend it again.
So
Refinish the whole thing.
we could
or
extend
tear
it.
down.
Again, refinish or just
But it's not
take the
standing
whole
for
thing
this.
down,
It's not standing for this.
It sounds like Al has no preference of whether it remains or is removed, but it's just that if it is going to be removed, it just needs to be documented how it'll be treated. Is that correct, Al?
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, if it's going to be capped, how is it going to be capped? Is it going to be a masonry cap? Is it going to be a sheet metal cap? If it's taken down, is it taken down all the way down past the existing roof line that you have there for the back part of the house? I mean, I'm a little queasy on the uncertainty of what it is that we're voting on.
Can I suggest, John, if you just said that extending it was a possibility, visually, I think it would, with this big dormer off the back, visually, I think it would be better for it to be gone or for it to be extended and look like a proper chimney. So if either of those options are okay with you, based on kind of how the construction project goes or something, then yes, Al, then it would be just a matter of the details of how, if it's going to stay, what does the cap look like? Is it visual at all, or is it internally blocked off so you're not actually seeing anything on the exterior? that
Yeah.
sound agreeable?
Extended.
Yeah, that's correct. But if we do extend it and we finish it, then it won't need to be capped at all. But either one, I think either one of those options will be correct, but I can specify in the application exactly which one that we're going to go with. But I do understand the concern around how we cap it and if that presents any issues with it just being not in use or whether it's inaccessible, you know.
You may find as well, I don't know if this line, it looks like you have the line drawn, so the chimney would be excluded from it entirely because the proportions of the addition are to match the existing dormer on, it's not going to extend all the way to the sides, but okay. So
Just a point of clarification, that red line that you're showing, is that the outer edge of the new construction?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
And that's just to carry the weight more evenly, just to line up with the wall below it. Is the plan.
Okay, so there is essentially there is a little bit of an overhang on that roof.
Yeah, it's around 10 inches.
Okay.
So we're requesting a drawing of the south facade. We're requesting a clearer drawing of the north facade showing the siding and windows. And we are requesting specifications on the chimney removal and or capping and or extension plan. Is there anything else that we want to see as far as the finishing specifications?
Yeah, I guess the specifications dealing with the window, the Munson arrangement, and the identification of a simulated divided light.
Oh, whether it's whether they are surface on the surface or just the inside.
Well, a simulated divided light, and I mean that's a typical term that is you see in all of the manufacturers. So,
Right.
I guess if if we scroll back to the catalog cuts. Okay, so the siding is hardy board. The pitched roof, and by pitched roof, I'm assuming we're talking about the pitch of the addition is not shingles. It's going to be that membrane. Am I correct?
Yeah, so that is, I think on the right side, the flat roof. The flat roofing will be sheet roofing to match the existing dormer. The pitched roofing is just where it meets the original structure of the house. That's
Right,
the
but-
only pitch section.
So that's unifying the current shingling, basically, that you said is mismatching.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Well, except that aren't you, isn't the from what I can tell, and I can't really, it's kind of hard to read this. Doesn't the this new dormer come up to the ridge line of the existing house?
No, it's slightly below.
Okay. All right, but it's slightly below, and the only thing that you're going to have on the top is a cap piece, something that covers both sides of the ridge. Am I correct?
Correct, yeah. But as we're extending the width as well, we're going to have to remove the existing shingles that are on the pitch, just to make it all match. So there's
Okay.
there'll be some removal.
All right. Can we also get a catalog cut of the flat the roof on the flatter portion of the roof?
Yeah. Oh, I can get that. Just for the drawings that are going to be on the opposite side, I can show them, but it's like the addition is going to be a mirror image exactly. So we can draw them up, but if I enhance this one so you can see the windows and you can see it more clearly, it's going to be identical.
Well, except the issue about the chimney.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, yeah.
Are there any other photographs of the property that you feel are relevant for the application, Al?
Well, it would be nice to have a photograph of the front of the front elevation.
Just the main facade for
Yeah.
context.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about elevation on north and south, decision on chimney, window, SDL catalog cut. What was the other thing that we said?
Material specification for the poured roof or the rolled roof. What it is actually going to be.
Okay.
And a photograph of the main facade, of the complete facade. And then in addition to that, Johnny, you can check in with Jeff when you're back with the application fee, and you don't need to have the application notarized because you're the property owner.
Okay, great.
But, well, just in looking at the materials, I see the application forms are there, but not filled out. So it would be nice to have them filled out.
Oh, they should have been. Oh, did I upload a blank one?
Yeah, they
Well,
are.
Sorry, he did send me the completed one. I must have uploaded a blank one from my desktop. I thought that it was the completed one.
Well, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, but because I thought I had looked at the file that Johnny had sent, to everybody. But in any case, whichever, as long as we have the application filled out.
Yeah, we do have the application.
Okay,
It was just the getting it notarized, but that's not necessary for this.
right, agreed.
All right, so our next meeting is going to be on the 6th of April. So we will put you on the agenda for then.
Great.
In the meantime, when you're back, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me and to Jeff, and we can help make sure that everything is organized for that meeting.
Okay, great. Thanks very much.
Great. Welcome to the
Right.
village.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, with that, we'll move on to minutes of meeting.
Okay, so the first minutes we can't do because Lloyd's not here, and the 3-2 meetings we can't do. But the meeting from the 16th, we can take a look at because we will have quorum to vote. So let me pull those up.
The other thing, just while we're waiting for Sean to call up the minutes, the business about the design standards, we really need to finish this. Now, I was under the impression that the text was all, in the main body, the text was all pretty much resolved. And I know Lloyd is not up to showing, to be here. But I do believe that we need to come up with a plan of how we're going to finish this document off because it's just dragging on way too long.
I agree.
So let's go through these minutes since these are the only ones that we can review, and then we can talk about finishing off the design standards. All right, so take us through this.
So this is from the February workshop. Todd, I see that you added a note, but I don't know how to find it.
I was
Oh.
actually not there.
You were not here.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
it says you were here.
I was supposed to be. I was not.
Oh,
Sorry.
This is from February. This is from February 16th, not March 2nd. You were not here in February?
No, I was not. Sorry.
Oh. Well, then we can't vote on this.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
We'll just have to wait until we will have to
So-
wait
Is it
until
past 4? How is that possible? Sean, you weren't here? Wait.
I wasn't here on the 16th.
Oh,
And I wasn't here on this. I wasn't here for the 16th or for March 2nd
well then how could we have had the meeting?
because Lloyd was here.
Oh, it's
Right.
just
Lloyd
you-
was here.
it was,
I was not.
Okay. Oh,
all
sorry.
right, Todd, it was you, me, and Lloyd.
Oh.
Sorry.
Because I do
Okay.
remember there was a three-person
Yep.
three-person meeting. Okay,
And so that was the same for, so, okay, so Andrea was gone for
I was
the meeting on the 2nd, the meeting on the 16th, and the meeting on March 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
then we
welcome
will-
back. Welcome back, Andrea.
I'm so sorry.
that's okay. So we'll have to table these meetings then for we'll have to table these meetings then until we table these
Well,
minutes.
We'll table these minutes until nobody remembers anything.
I know, until we all have to watch the video again.
That's
But I
fine.
guess what we could do, I just emailed Lloyd and everybody about scheduling a workshop specifically for the standards. If we can agree on a time for that, then we could also, I mean, we'd have to post it anyway, but if we post it as a voting session, we could also vote on these outstanding minutes as well if we have quorum. Otherwise, we'll just have to hold them until the April meeting. Is anyone able, the two dates that I just threw out are the, would either be the evening on Sunday, the 20th, or the morning on Sunday, the 27th. Or we also have an extra Wednesday as well. So we could meet on Wednesday, the 30th as well, which would be the week before our April meeting. The Wednesday, the 23rd, there's going to be a town board workshop about the Fjord Trail that I want to attend. So I would prefer not to meet that night.
Okay, let's go ahead and decide on one of these days. And let us establish a certain time limit so
Okay.
that we know that, you know, we need to get through a certain amount of effort. The one thing is, if, and Lloyd's probably the one who's the most familiar with it, but I was under the impression that we were pretty much finished with as far as the text of the main body of the main document. Am I correct? Or were there other edits that were supposed to be done?
I don't think that there were any outstanding edits. It was just a matter of, you know, obviously proofreading it once we got it back from Kirsten to make sure that it was inputted properly. If we were going to be attempting to adopt the text as a standalone thing, we would do that before, or we could do it before and after, but it's obviously gonna have to be done after we get her draft to make sure.
Right. But I think it's a mistake to just adopt the text. I think if we're talking about the main body, then it's just a question of finalizing the photographs that are to be inserted. And I would think that we should be able to do that. I mean, certainly there has been enough work on it that identifying the photographs that's supposed to go with the text we should be able to do that in one, let's say, hour-and-a-half session.
Yeah, we did that mostly, and then there were a few outstanding things that I emailed everybody back on January 23rd on Sunday with my last round of kind of going through the photos. But when I joined the board, I don't even, what was that, a year? Was that a year ago already?
It was November of 2020.
Oh, geez. Wow.
I know.
Time
Yeah.
flies, huh?
Yeah, this was mostly kind of underway at that point. So I really entered it kind of purely from a photography standpoint, I think sometime in 2021. And I know one of the meetings we went through and did a lot of changes, which I think is the last kind of document that we have been looking at. And then, like I said, on January 23rd, I can forward this to everybody too. There were some questions, but that was the last kind of go around I did as far as the images are concerned.
Yeah, I think, if there is a push to get something out, then I think we're better off with the main body being issued complete. In other words, graphic. I don't think there were any graphic questions, or it was just a question of the proper image to go along with the text. At this point, if I remember correctly, we shouldn't be screwing around with any text changes. After that, it then becomes a question of formalizing the appendices. And we can, when we finished with the body, we can decide exactly what the appendices are and what the content is, and let it go at that. I mean, I think that we need to push this out, because I think that
I completely agree.
I mean,
But is the A to
This
Z,
needs to be done.
are you, Al, when you're talking about the main body, are you including the first resource guide, which is the A to Z, in that?
well, is that one of the appendices?
It is, it's the first one.
Well, I think yes. I think let's include that, because that is the bulk of the information that we want to promulgate.
Okay. So,
uh,
and is that in a state where images have been chosen for that section? I wasn't there the last time that we talked about it, so I don't know if the images have been discussed for that section.
Which section is this again?
This is the first resource guide, which is the A to Z kind of like list of everything alphabetically and with guidance.
in other words, it starts
Resource
off with
guide.
like porch, wall, and it has the text as well as some descriptive information.
Right. I don't believe there was any conversation about imagery for that or the section prior, which is architectural styles around the village.
Right. So I believe that our original plan when we, and this predates you, Todd, because this happened when Kathleen was still on the board, we divided the kind of order of the whole thing such that we could kind of release the update in chunks, and we have not done that. So I think that the issue then becomes a question of whether or not we, what is it that we're planning to release first? Because again, I think if the text is in a place that we want it to be in, and if we have the ability to adopt the text and the text alone, so that is what people are working off of as we enter the next construction season, I think that's worthwhile because we could adopt the text of the entire document and all of the resource guides. So that is my question of,
Well-
it looks like the resource guides are,
All right, but I guess my question, when you say release the text, in what format?
as
Are you
a,
going to strip off all the images?
if it means that it is in a accessible document and that becomes our guiding document in the short term, then yes, I think that that's necessary. I mean, this is something, you know, I appreciate that everyone has put a lot of time into this, and this has been going on for a number of years, but we did talk about this a year ago and a year prior to that as well, that we should endeavor to adopt the text so that we're not being held up by the design requirements and making sure that the photos are the way we want them to be, because ultimately, you know, the text is the things that people are going to hold us to. The photos are just to help people understand what we're saying verbally. I think that the photos and the drawings are very important and they should be part of the finished document. But, you know, as of now, for every application that has currently been submitted to us and will be over the next couple of months, we're going to be using design guidelines from 1999 to review it. And, you know, whether the graphic design portion of the A to Z and all the resource guides takes another 3 weeks or another 3 years, we do have the power to adopt a document, a text-based document that explains everything that we are expecting from applicants. So
I think Sean, I agree with you. I think in terms of text, we're ready. We are in a place where we can publish that information, and
we can publish it as an adopted draft, and for the whatever the interval is between the time that this is what is adopted on the website and we inform the trustees at their next meeting that this is what we have adopted, and the time that every piece of visual element of it is finalized, at least we will have people reading the new and more accurate material.
Well, let me ask this question. After 4 years of working on this, you know, how much longer do you think that we need in order to finalize this thing?
Well,
I mean,
it's not 4 years, it's 6 years.
Can I interject for a moment? I think
Yeah.
that this the few questions that I have about the images are very minor. I think that the way that it is up until the end, which are the resource guides, I think we're there. So to me, I don't think it makes sense to just adopt text right now. I think we should potentially adopt the entire document, and if we need to add in the resource guide section images, maybe that's project 2.0, but at least the rest of it will be a proper document that people can be looking at. It's really just, there's a lot of red bubbles in the resource guide for the glossary of terms and for the styles around the village that I guess were supposed to be images or illustrations or something. So I don't see any reason why all those red bubbles go away and the last, whatever it is, the last 10 pages of the document are just text. But the first 20, you know, it's design, images are there. Let's just do it and be done with it.
Yeah, see, because the other thing is that, yeah, if we just adopt the text, it's going to drag on for another 6 years.
And it could, but at least we are just waiting on images for the resource guides or illustrations. That would actually be an interesting thing that we could, I know we might have just passed the deadline for do we need any money, but you know, having illustrations could be kind of a nice thing instead of photos for the resource guide for certain things.
But we do have illustrations. The illustrations in the current design guidelines and some new illustrations that were provided by our first consultant. We do have access to those
Oh.
as well. So that
might be
is
what we need.
part of the plan, is to use illustrations in the new A to Z section.
Okay,
So we do have
so,
access to those. They just haven't been dropped in.
Okay.
so evening of Sunday, March 20th, that's this Sunday, right?
Well, I'm saying evening. I have a Film Society board meeting until about 1. So it could be the afternoon, or it could be whatever works for everyone else.
I'm out of town this weekend.
Okay, how about the 27th?
Look,
I'm pretty sure I'm around.
uh,
And that could be daytime too. I mean, that
Okay.
could be noon to 3 or whatever.
Let's not make it that long, because realistically, we're going to wind up fading out. And I think that let's look at an hour and a half to 2 hours max. And
Okay.
I think that what we need to do is just focus on whatever needs to be decided, and decide it in order to finish off the documents, because, you know, it just, we're going to come up with more and more reasons why putting it off makes sense. And I think that we probably had a fairly good document a couple of years ago, and we just kept trying to tweak it, and we're tweaking it to death. So-
I'd prefer a weeknight, a Wednesday, if possible, over the weekend. I don't know how anyone else feels about that.
Well, and let's start on the 27th, because also you mentioned the 30th, right, Sean?
The 30th is a Wednesday. Yeah.
Right. All right. So let's sort of organize ourselves, take a stock of where we are with the document, and, you know, make any assignments, and then plan on reconvening the evening of the 30th to see if we can finish off enough so that we can actually publish this, or at least a good portion of it. Sound like a plan?
Mhm.
So we will meet for,
Let's say
we
an
will meet
hour.
at noon. We will meet at noon on Sunday, the 27th,
Right.
for 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then, if necessary, we will meet on Wednesday, the 30th.
Yeah, in the evening, 7:30.
In the evening. All right. So we'll just have to also confirm that those times both work for Lloyd, because obviously
Yeah.
he is the captain of the ship. So,
Right.
so can we get you for an hour and a half on Sunday, the 27th, Todd?
Yeah, Tom's not here right now, so I never really.
I actually think I'm away that weekend.
Oh,
Um,
man.
Well, but that's okay. You can call in from wherever you're going to be.
Yeah, you can call in from the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if you can call in. That's the other thing too. We're gonna have to, because if we aren't allowed to meet over Zoom, we're gonna have to meet in
Ugh.
person. So,
Oh, wait. This is not an official. If there's a problem as far as meeting for a voting session, certainly we can meet for a working session, non-voting working session.
Right.
I don't see that being a problem. So I think one way or another, we're going to have a meeting, and the only thing that the governor would have an impact on is whether or not we vote on minutes.
okay.
right, okay. All right, so Andrea, will you let us know whether or not that day works for you? You
Yeah,
can
I
just-
think I think Saturday, sorry, Friday, so I think I'm away.
Okay, on the 27th.
Yeah.
So then should we do the 30th then, Al? Wednesday, the 30th?
And now let's still meet on the 27th to get organized, so that when the 30th rolls around, we just get down to business
Sorry.
and do what we need
Ah.
to do.
That's okay. Check your email for assignments after we meet on the 27th.
That's right.
Without you there,
Absolutely.
without you there to defend yourself and say that you can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, Andrea can do that.
Gonna be a lot of
Sorry.
ACH on that list. All right, that's fine with me, and I'll confirm with Lloyd that those were.
Okay, excellent. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Second,
second.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we'll see you guys on the
8:30.
27th.
All right, good night, everyone.
Night.
Okay, good night.
Bye.